Okay, it's time now for some business and finance news, and for that I'm joined on set by Will Hildebrandt. Hi, Will.
Hi, Thomas.
And you're starting with scandal and intrigue, and that's all in the car industry.
Yeah, that's right. No surprise really coming out. Japanese airbag manufacturer Takata reportedly nearing a settlement with U.S. regulators. The firm expected to pay $1 billion and plead guilty to criminal wrongdoing over faulty airbags. Around 100 million Takata airbags were recalled globally, a scandal that's been linked to 12 deaths and affected nearly every major car maker. Now, markets reacting positively to the news that this scandal may finally come to a close. Takata Corp closing up 16.4% in Japan earlier today.
And Will, that's not the only firm that's in hot water with US authorities. Tell us more about Fiat Chrysler.
That's right. Fiat Chrysler, the Italian-American car maker, the U.S. government accusing it of cheating emissions test. Now, this scandal is similar to the major one involving Volkswagen last year, but the Italian-American car maker says it is fundamentally different from Volkswagen and denies any wrongdoing. Alexander Hurst has more.
Another scandal that could rock the auto industry. U.S. regulators are accusing Fiat Chrysler of tricking emissions testing by using software that let more than 100,000 cars and trucks emit less pollution during the tests than they do on the road. The Environmental Protection Agency says the company violated parts of the Clean Air Act by not disclosing the software. As a result, Fiat Chrysler could face up to $4.6 billion in fines.
In the case of Volkswagen, it was deliberate cheating. They knew they were doing this. It's not clear that that's the situation here.
The accusations come just a day after Volkswagen pleaded guilty in U.S. courts to having cheated emissions tests, destroying evidence, and lying to regulators. Volkswagen agreed to pay a record $4.3 billion fine. Fiat Chrysler CEO Sergio Marchionne denied having done anything illegal and says that comparisons with Volkswagen are wrong. The company said the software is standard and that disclosure wasn't required until an EPA rule change following the Volkswagen scandal. It also plans to plead its case to the Trump administration once it takes office. Donald Trump, who has criticized some U.S. manufacturers for producing goods overseas, recently praised Fiat Chrysler for a decision to invest $1 billion in plants in Ohio and Michigan. With the EPA investigation in early stages, any ultimate decision will likely rest with his administration.
It was Alex Hurst reporting there. Well, the car maker saw its shares plunge on Thursday. How are things looking today, Will?
Yeah, that's right. Fiat Chrysler saw shares go down 16.5% in both Milan and New York on Thursday. Today, though, some correcting. It's up 5.4%. European markets opening up at the top of the hour. Those shares coming out of Milan. On the wider European indices, though, things pretty much muted, all up between 0.5% to 0.6%. Paris CAC 40 leading the way. A little bit earlier in Asia, we saw some disappointing data out of China. The world's second largest economy saw its exports drop for a second year amid weak global demand and fears of a possible trade war with the U.S. The Nikkei, though, Japan's index, closing up 0.8%.
Okay, let's move on. Iran has received its first new Western-built aeroplane in decades.
Yeah, that's right. This is the Airbus A321 touching down in Tehran with an official ceremony to hail in a symbolic new era. This is thanks to many international sanctions being dropped in exchange for Iran giving up some of its nuclear activity. Tehran has ordered 100 planes from Airbus, 80 from Boeing, and they are trying to replace their aging fleet. Now, this Airbus A321 carrying along its passengers, the chief of the company, Fabrice Bregier.
This is the first aircraft that we have delivered, and it's the first new plane that Iran Air can fly in many years. This is an historic moment. It's the rebuilding of Iranian air transportation, and we're very proud to be the first company to be a part of it.
Now, Airbus's rival, the American Boeing, also announcing earlier today that it sold some planes to the Indian airline Spice, 205 planes worth $22 billion.
Okay, well, finally, Nintendo has pushed reset, launching a totally revamped and brand new console.
Yeah, that's right. This was a long-awaited console. Think of it as one part traditional console, one part mobile gaming device, and one part swatting device. This is Nintendo's Switch console. It will be released March 3rd, coming out at just under 30,000 yen in Japan, just under $300 in the US. Much anticipated, but investors not feeling the same way. Nintendo shares down earlier today, about 5.75%, but gamers, early reaction, positive. So investors and gamers differing.
Okay, well, thanks very much for that spin there through the latest business news. It's time